Welcome to the Pretty and Profiting Show, your favorite show for branding, beauty, business, and the truth of how to be a boss lady and build your empire. Pause the show right now and grab your free gift at profitablepersonalbrand.com/hot. It's a workbook and audio training on 5 high-performing strategies to dominate your market and add an extra $1,000 to $10,000 to your bottom line. And now, your host. She's a fierce, creative freaking genius who is known by many as Nikki Hustle. Nicole K. Lundy.
Hey, my favorite person on the planet. How are you? This is your host, Nicole K. Lundy, Pretty and Profiting Show. And today we are talking about, drumroll, taking breaks. So I have so many things to talk to you about this January because people are in a certain frame of mind at the top of the year that there's just a lot that I have to talk about. So I'm sure you've heard the saying, I don't know who said it exactly, but it goes something like, hustlers don't take breaks, we take naps. Dreamers don't sleep. They sleep with one eye open, or taking break is for wimps and sissies. I mean, there's so many different sayings, but basically, if you are about anything, if you're the real deal, then you don't need sleep. You don't need a break. And I'll be honest with you, I learned this the hard way several times over my career. And not just being an entrepreneur. I learned this in high school. I learned this in my corporate finance career. I learned this, it's many times owning my own business. So I want to talk about this today because it's the top of the year. It's 2015, and people have this energy that's often not the same when we hit October, November, even December of the year. It's just not the same energy of January and February. And if you don't take my word for it, just go to the gym. Just pass by the gym today if you're not a gym member and see how packed the parking lot is. People are gung-ho. It's like January. The theme is gung freaking ho. So as a CEO, as the phenomenal person you are building your empire, I want to tell you and talk to you about why taking a break is so important as you up-level, as you grow, as you build your business, as you kill it and build a bankable brand, because it's necessary. So I have a few studies to bring to you, so I'm not just making this up off the top of my head. And one of the studies comes from the University of Illinois, and they studied 4 groups of people. And each of the groups worked on a brain-intensive task for 50 minutes. The results, as you can imagine, the group that took the most breaks had the highest stamina at the end of the 50 minutes. So I'll tell you another study in just a second. When I talk to my business girlfriends, my clients, my colleagues, a lot of people kill themselves and then they're mentally drained and exhausted for anything else in their life, whether it's family, whether it's self-care, whether it's social life. They're just burned out, and they rinse and repeat this process every single day, and it's not doable. A lot of times the results leaves people going to the hospital. Sometimes you just crash for 4 days. Sometimes you get the flu, something that wipes you out. I mean, it's just, there's just another way to do it. Suzanne Evans, I once heard her say, every task should be only 15 minutes in your calendar. I tried that for a while. It didn't quite work out for me that way. I do, coming from finance, I do have I guess I would call it a longer mental stamina. But most of my tasks I schedule in my calendar for either 45 minutes or 90 minutes, and then I take a break. Taking a break is a restroom break, getting more coffee, making phone calls, checking social media. I mean, there's different things I do on my break, but it's a break in concentration. And that's what I want to stress to you. Taking a break is not about, I'm going to work for 90 minutes and then take a 3-hour nap. It's just a quick break to break your concentration. So you give your subconscious time to process what you've been focusing on, what you've been absorbing, and work it out. And then you get a chance to come back. It's really essential to your productivity, your energy, your concentration, your efficiency, and your creativity. So I'm a super creative person, and I love coming up with things totally outside the box, totally foreign on Mars somewhere, or Venus. And sometimes when I know I'm hitting a wall, I just need to walk away. Sometimes I go check the mail. Sometimes I don't. But the question goes, then the question becomes, how often do I take a break? So studies say 50 to 90 minutes. I'm going to actually agree, but I'm also going to confess to you that I don't always follow the rule. Now, I know Mondays and Tuesdays, I can come out the weekend and go hard. Wednesday, Thursday, I need it to be a medium-sized load. And then Friday, I need to be a lighter load. That has worked for me. When I try to go gung-ho on a Friday, oftentimes I fail. It just doesn't work. My brain is not clicking the same way it clicks on Monday and Tuesday. So there's tons of studies out there. And I want to tell you about this cool one that it talked about scientific measures. The average American attention span is only 8 seconds. Actually shorter than a goldfish who has attention span of 9 seconds. Crazy. Anyway, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk more about you taking a break so that you are killing it during the hours you are actually working. We'll be right back. Join the Pretty and Profiting Posse if you are a real deal woman entrepreneur creating wealth and making a global impact with your business. Represent yourself. Head on over to prettyandprofiting.com and get your merchandise. Profit in style. So today we're talking about taking a break because it's so important that you don't kill yourself, especially in the gung-ho themed month of January, and that you're actually making your time the most productive, the most profitable it can be. And I want to talk to you about a few techniques, break techniques that are out there. You can try them, or you can customize ones that work for you. Now, I want to tell you a story about how life forces you to take a break. Recently, in November 8th exactly, I had to take my mom to the hospital. She just wasn't breathing right. Now, this was a regular Saturday afternoon for me. I was planning a Twitter party for this very show. And she just wasn't right to me all day. So finally we went to the hospital like 3 p.m. and they wanted to run some tests for her, and they wanted to keep her for a few days. So fast forward a bit, about 2:30 a.m., I was checking into the hotel across the street, and the hospital calls me and says, look, you got to come now. Your mom is declining rapidly. Now, I was in my car eating a fast food burger because that was the only thing open, and I had just been told that the hotel was sold out. So I was literally going to finish my sandwich and go back to the hospital and sleep on a chair. Not anyway planning to have a great restful sleep, but that was my option at the time. Anyway, by the time I got back to the hospital, my fiance and she was being intubated and being put on life support. And this happened all in a matter of 30 minutes. So she was actually hospitalized for 3 weeks. Out of those 3 weeks, 1 week she was on life support for an entire week. And then she was in the regular hospital for a week. And then she did rehab for the final third week. And since then, my time has completely changed. It's 180. I don't have 8 to 10 hours a day to work on my business. I'm in a full-time home care person. I am managing her medical bills, managing her finances, and my time for my business is so short compared to what it was that I have to be really clear on what's priority and what's the highest producing activity that I can do. And then what can Emily do? Emily is my right-hand assistant, and it's a whole new world for me. So in a matter of taking breaks, you have to consider every single thing that's going on and make it work for you. A lot now I'm, I had to teach myself and make myself do self-care. I'm so glad I taught myself that, and made myself commit to that, because now I need extra rest. It's a lot of work during my waking hours between business and taking care of my mom. So taking a break is even more essential now that I am not spending the most time in my business. And when I do, I'm using so many brain cells. It's crazy. And the other part of just physically taking care of another human being is another taxing thing. So whatever your situation is, you have to be very clear on the time you have for your business, because I understand you're a CEO with real life going on, and you still have to schedule in breaks. Depending on what's going on, your breaks are going to look different, which is why I'm stressing to you that you have to customize what will work for you. So as promised, before we jump off today's episode, I want to tell you a few break techniques that has been researched and studied, and see, try them out, see what works for you. So one of them is the Pomodoro technique. And basically for every 25, you'll take 5-minute breaks for every 25 minutes worked. So basically after working 4 25-minute Pomodoros, you take a 15-minute break. The next one is Desk Time tracked 40,000 users. So Desk Time is a platform online that you could check out. And they found from their observation that a 17-minute break every 52 minutes was the sweet spot for productivity. So, there's so many studies out there on what works, what doesn't work. If you take a nap, it should be 90 minutes because that goes with our natural body circadian rhythm. There's so many things. My point to you is find out what works for you. Your timer on your phone is your best friend. Use it and time everything you do and maximize. This is how, no matter what's going on, business life, because it's all connected, that you are still growing your business, that you are still killing it. So take a break. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to me because we all need to do it. This is Nicole K. Lundy, your host of the Pretty and Profiting Show. I will see you next time. Bye. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Pretty and Profiting. Want to learn more about me and what I do? Head on over to profitablepersonalbrand.com. Also, I have a super juicy giveaway for one lucky show subscriber. If you want to enter, you just have to do 2 simple things. 1, subscribe to the show. 2, leave a review on iTunes or Stitcher, and you'll be entered into this month's $25 Sephora gift card giveaway. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, stay pretty and stack those profits.